There's more, believe me. I'm better off myself.
This here is your hut?
Yes.
That's
Why?
no secret.
Anything wrong with it?
Don't you have any problems with the mercenaries?
As long as I don't interfere with their business, they'll leave me alone too. Moreover, they're good customers, and I pay them to keep an eye on my house when I'm not home.
Can't rely on that.
He doesn't even know how to hold a sword.
I used to say that myself.
I'd have gone about it differently.
Nothing there to be had there. I think I found something.
There's more, believe me.
He never would have thought of that himself.
Tell me that isn't true.
He doesn't even know how to hold a sword.
What do we have here? Don't I know you from somewhere?
Who wants to know?
I'm Buster, one of Lee's mercenaries. And you had better be a little nicer to me, or I'll have your hide. All right. What do you want here?
If you say so. I'm on my way to see the landowner.
Indeed. You don't look all that dangerous to me.
I've killed a beast or two on occasion.
Ha! You probably flattened a few weevils in the fields and chased a couple of rats from their holes. We're dealing with orcs here. Well, yeah, and with those scummy city guards.
Do you mean real orcs? Those big things?
I'm talking about... Just a moment. Are you trying to pull my leg?
Oh, far be that from me.
You worm! You're really asking for it, huh? Come and show me what you've got, you hero!
Anytime.
Come closer then, buddy! Well, we'll see the next time. All right, you're the better fighter. What do you want?
I want to find out more about the mercenaries in this region.
I can't tell you much about this region. You'd better ask the farmers. And as for us mercenaries, we have a very simple rule. If you can stand your ground, you're in. I think you're made of the right stuff to be one of us. But you shouldn't let it get to your head that you lucked out during our last fight. There are plenty of guys on the farm who are quite a bit better than I am. Sentenza, for one. He guards the entry to the farm. Whatever you do, don't pick a fight with him.
What about this Sentenza?
He'll try to squeeze some gold out of you when you come to the farm. He does that to all newcomers. And if I were you, I'd pay up. That's what I did back then. And the good thing was that he voted for me afterwards. One good turn deserves another, he said. I lost all my gold in the bargain, but it wasn't much to begin with. And I was glad of it in the end. I once watched him beat up a fellow who had decided not to pay him.
Thanks for the hint.
Indeed. Could it be worth anything to you?
Here you are, 5 gold pieces.
Thanks, man. Looks like I can take a few tonight after all. I won't forget this.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Anyone who can whack as hard as you shouldn't have too much trouble around here. My vote doesn't count much, since I haven't been here for long. But when Lee asks me, I'll vote for you.
Lee is the leader of the mercenaries, isn't he?
Right. Hey, now I remember where I know you from. You were in the colony, too.
So I was.
I didn't see you when the Big Bang happened. Not for a while before that, either.
I had other problems.
You've missed out on quite a lot, then. Things have changed since we were in the Slammer together.
What became of the mercenaries in the colony?
Once the barrier was gone, Lee let us out of the colony. He said that nothing could happen to us if we all stuck together. And he was right. It wasn't too long before we found ourselves a cozy spot right here. The landowner pays us to beat up the militia from the city, and most of us would have volunteered to do that even without pay. But Onar feeds us all, and we can bide our time until we see a good opportunity to get away from this blasted island.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
That was obvious.
Hey, you! How are things?
Ah, a new face here on the farm. Has the old skinflint finally granted me an apprentice?
I'm not an apprentice.
Oh, I see. I'm not as young as I used to be, you know, and I've been waiting for a replacement for years. You aren't here because the neighbors are annoyed, are you?
Have you seen any bandits passing through here?
I certainly have. They passed along the edge of the field near Sekob's farm and entered the forest to the north. They were carrying loads of weapons. They looked like they were all set to win the war against the orcs. Well, I'm just glad they stayed away from our farm.
What's the work you do here?
Oh, I guard the sheep, and I've been doing that for as long as I can remember. The animals are very loyal and very smart, you see. If you treat them well, they'll follow you for a lifetime.
What's the trouble with your neighbors?
The grass on this side of the big field is always so stunted and dry, so I mostly go to the big pastures of the other farmers. Ooh, the landowner doesn't mind, but Bengar, the farmer on the high pastures, always makes a big deal out of it when I take the animals up there. He says Sekob should pay if I take his animals onto Bengar's pasture, but Sekob won't spend a measly coin for that, so I can't go up onto the plateau anymore.
Maybe I should talk to Bengar.
You do that for me? What will you tell him? I mean, I don't want any trouble, you hear?
We'll see about that. Where can I find the high pastures in Bengar's farm?
Follow this path and cross the big crossroad. If you stick to the right, you'll see a big outcropping of rock. Behind that, to the right, are the high pastures and the pass.
Well, kiddo?
That's no way for a farmhand to talk to me. Just how often do I have to remind you?
Are you in charge here?
No, I'm only Sekop's son. But once my old man is no longer with us, then all the land you can see here will belong to me.
Amazing. Is that how you always treat your field workers?
Of course, they need that. Whoever doesn't toe the line here gets thrashed. That's the way it goes.
I need to talk to your father.
He hasn't got time, but I'm his deputy. What can I help you with?
By introducing me to your father.
You're a real tough guy and a good fighter, huh?
The best.
I think maybe I better get him then.
Never mind, boy. I'll find him, I'm sure.
If you say so.
Hey! Hey! So what do you do when you're not busy playing ruler of the farm?
Stand guard. The filthy militiamen from the city are coming onto our land more and more often and stealing everything they can get their hands on. Only last week the bastards were here, and they took some of our sheep. If I could get my hands on one of them, I'd make short work of him.
But of course.